I want to bring in now Congressman Krishnamoorthi, an Illinois Democrat, who will be asking questions in tomorrow's hearing. Congressman, thank you. I know it's a big day tomorrow, so we appreciate you joining us this evening.
Sure thing.
Historic. The hearings start with two key witnesses, live testimony. Make your case of what the president did here and why it's impeachable.
Well, first of all, the witnesses that we're going to see tomorrow, especially Ambassador Taylor, are some of the most compelling, credible, careful witnesses I've ever seen testify in Congress. Just taking Ambassador Taylor for one moment, he's a career public servant, a West Point graduate, a Vietnam veteran, and he served his country for 50 years. And he was indeed appointed by the Trump administration to his current post. But he decided he'd put his career on the line and come and testify out of conviction to tell the truth. And as you could see from his deposition transcript, what he lays out is basically a scheme that lasts over several months to basically pressure the Ukrainian government into investigating Donald Trump's political rivals here in the U.S. And this is extremely disturbing for two reasons. One, involving a foreign power in our politics. And then two, using the office of the president to investigate any private citizen, really for any improper motive, in this case a political motive, is probably perhaps the biggest fear that any private citizen has about his or her government.
This evening we heard that your committee announced 8 more witnesses are going to testify publicly next week, including Pence's aide Jennifer Williams, NSC official Tim Morrison, top Ukraine expert Alexander Vindman, and top Ukraine envoy Kurt Volker and others. The inquiry is full steam ahead.
It is, and we have a lot of witnesses coming over the next 2 weeks. As I said, the vast majority of these people are career public servants. And even some of these witnesses are ones that the minority requested to be called. So we are trying to do our best in the majority to have a fair process and one that's focused really on the witnesses and the substance of their testimony, because it's so important that the American people see for themselves what these people have to say.
Yeah. Listen, the president has said, and they sent out the talking points. Jim Acosta got a hold of some yesterday. There are other ones that came out today. But the president's basically saying, do not relent. Don't say the call wasn't perfect. He did nothing wrong. But some Republicans are arguing, Congressman, that what the president did was wrong, doesn't rise to the level of impeachment. So explain how the evidence tomorrow adds up to impeachable offenses.
Sure. Well, as you know, impeachable offenses are high crimes and misdemeanors, among others. And, abusing the office or engaging in what Chairman Schiff mentioned today, potentially bribery or extortion, would certainly amount to the types of offenses that the framers or founders of this country envisioned when they talked about impeachable offenses. One of the biggest concerns that they had was that a foreign power would somehow influence the politics of our internal affairs in our democracy. When we started out as a country, that was one of the biggest fears. And even today, after 2016, when we saw what the Russians did, we should have that fear now. Well, and yet the president may have persisted in trying to involve a foreign power.
I've got to run because I got a lot of folks coming up. But I just want to ask you, will tomorrow's testimony from Taylor and Kent directly connect the shakedown to President Trump, not just the people around him, but to the president himself?
I believe they will be laying out evidence of that. That being said, I respectfully request all your viewers to tune in for themselves and judge these people's credibility for themselves. Yeah. I found them to be credible, but now it's time for Americans to decide.
Congressman, big day. Get some rest. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.